I was peaking too early. Your lack of buddies is a little concerning. You heard the rumors, now I'm hearing confirming. I made a friend in my 30s.
Welcome back to Jam Mechanics. This is the only podcast. My name's Matt Johnson from the band The Narcissist Cookbook. With me in the studio is...
It's Bug from Bug Hunter. Here's what we do here. Matt and I are both songwriters. We're going to have a jam consultant join us in a couple of minutes here. They're going to come on, give us a couple of prompts. We're going to take those prompts. We're going to go away for just 3 hours. We're going to come back, and we are going to show off kind of the demos that we make. Right now, we have nothing. We have nothing prepared, nothing in our heads, and in about 3 hours, or for y'all, maybe about 15 minutes, we're going to have a couple of demos to show off, just to kind of show off our writing process.
We have made the ingenious move of circumnavigating the problem of how do you write when there's no one there to give you a little round of applause afterwards? You know, usually when you're listening to Jam Mechanics, you're listening to the sound of me having just woken up and gotten out of bed and walked to my studio, which is in my living room. Today, I got up at the, frankly, ungodly hour.
The butt crack of dawn.
10 a.m. on a Saturday. 10 a.m. on the most beautiful day of the year. I got up, I went and picked up my partner. We went for a walk through the forest. We saw some dogs. We played some music. I have a sunburn, so I'm going to put on some after sun care on the podcast.
I've never heard of you getting a sunburn before. You normally like the rainy weather.
Oh, let me tell you, Bug, it was disgusting out there today. It was disgusting. Easily...
65 degrees.
I don't know what that joke means, but it's probably the joke I would have made, yeah.
I'll put my jokes in Celsius from now on.
Yeah, I feel full of experience today. I feel like I have lived. I got some content to put into my art, is what I'm saying.
Before we get to our jam consultant who's coming in here in a second, we got a little segment on this show that we like to do called Gotta Get to Know Each Other.
Yeah, okay, I got a question for you. This is a question from M. The question of this is, on a scale of cowboys to vampires, where would you both put yourselves? This is not a false dichotomy. In fact, a truer dichotomy has never existed.
Well, let's dig into that. The premise.
Okay.
Why are those two the ends of this particular spectrum?
When was the last time you saw a vampire and a cowboy in the same room that wasn't on Halloween?
Vampires, obviously their favorite time of day, midnight. Cowboys, famously favorite time of day, high noon. That's why they're always having their meetings. That's true.
The most daytime you can have.
Here's the things I don't do. I don't lasso things. I don't spend any time around cows. I don't wear boots. I do wear a hat, not a cowboy hat. Though I did have a phase when I was in high school where I did have a cowboy hat. And
everything I learn about the person that you were in high school is just it's just an absolute treat. It's just another chocolate in a big old box of chocolates.
When I moved from California to Arkansas, between my sophomore and junior year of high school, for some reason I got in my head that I really wanted a cowboy hat. I don't know why. And I remember one time...
we know why. You wanted a cowboy hat because you're like, I'm going to look fucking sick.
Yeah,
I'm going to walk in and everyone's going to be all like, who is that guy?
I wanted an affectation and I got it.
How big a cowboy hat are we talking?
Standard size. This was not an egregious cowboy hat. Imagine a normal cowboy hat. It was that. It had the little button on the side that you could put up one of the little side brim things.
What, in case you needed to aim your hunting rifle?
Yes. And I even took some of my, do people in Scotland, do you have the concept of senior pictures where you kind of like, when you're a senior in high school, you kind of do like a photo shoot?
Not really. I mean, we're aware of it, but not really.
Yeah. The cowboy hat made an appearance in some of my senior pictures. So there are some very high quality JPEGs of me with my arms folded against like a brick wall wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh my God, that's so much better and worse than anything I was picturing in my mind. For the sake of the fans, you gotta stop talking about photographs that exist that you will never post in the Discord, okay?
Okay, because I've done it twice now, I will try and find the cowboy hat pictures and open myself up to public ridicule.
2 weeks ago, you were just talking about how much you are going to be a hat guy now. 100% hats, 100% at the time. there's no reason that you can't return to Cowboy Hat Man. But yeah, you're waking up at 8 a.m. every morning. You're by high noon, you're ready to kill a man. You know, like if someone said meet me at high noon, I'm like, could we make it 6 p.m.?
Like maybe on this particular spectrum, I'm full cowboy. I'm gonna go full cowboy.
Leaning against a wall, like spitting, like ding.
Chin up. Arms folded.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Okay, hit me.
If you wrote a musical, this is from Paul. If you wrote a musical, what would it be about?
I already kind of wrote a musical by accident. No, sort of by accident, sort of on purpose.
Oops. Oops.
Oh no, I tripped and fell and wrote a Tony Award-winning musical. I wrote Him. Him was originally supposed to be a stage show. It was supposed to be like a one-person stage show. And my idea was like, can you write a musical that only has one song in it? Like, and the idea is that the song keeps getting rewritten as someone processes their grief, processes their emotions, and through their character arc. And I realized that I know nothing about stagecraft, and it ended up turning into the album Him, which is a weird piece of art, and I'm very pleased with it. But yeah, there's still some talk of it being turned into a stage show, but not by me. Like, I handed it over to a friend of mine who actually knows what they're doing.
If Lin-Manuel Miranda is listening to this podcast, hello at jammechanics.com.
Here's something I don't understand. This is how out of touch I am. When did people start hating Lin-Manuel Miranda?
They really do. And so I just heard about this. People don't like Lin-Manuel Miranda anymore.
You know what I think it is? I honestly think, because people are saying, oh, it's because of the sort of awkward politics around Hamilton. I don't think it is. I think it's internalized nerd self-loathing. I think nerds are just like, oh, he really is just a fucking dork. Oh, we hate this guy now. Like, fuck off. Like, that guy can write.
Yeah.
Okay, like,
Yeah.
don't. Where do people get off at, like, making? I don't know.
The problem with Lin-Manuel Miranda is that he was so good that people started to kind of imitate that style, and they also started to parody that style, and then the originals sounded like the parodies, and then all of a sudden you have this like loop of like, oh, this isn't good, because a lot of the content that sprang from how good it was isn't very good. It's a very unique style, very easy to it's like the Christopher Walken of musical impressions, right? Everybody can do one, right? It's a low-hanging fruit impression to do, and I think it has kind of come full circle to kind of bite.
Yeah.
Speaking of musicals, our jam consultant today kind of specializes in very theatrical kind of pop. We got a little gentleman named Spence Hood coming in here today. You know what? I'm gonna let the man himself describe it to you. Spence, what would you say your genre is?
Oh, good question. Changes by the hour. I would say it is safe to say theatrical pop. That is my genre.
To give the listeners a little backstory on just like your whole world. What's your story? Where did you come from? Tell us about some of your music.
I would say I've been doing this for about 5 to 6 years now, full-time music. And I moved out to Seattle with a guitar and a dream and absolutely no idea how to be a musician back in 2019. And that's where I met Bug, and I met a billion other friends of ours. And I just kind of tried to bulldoze my way into figuring out how music works and whether you need a father who owns a label to make it work for you, which turns out maybe no, which is great.
Yeah.
And
luckily your mother owned a label.
Oh, it was so nice that my mom had one. Can you imagine? Golly.
I remember us meeting at Jesse Galloway's birthday party several years ago, and I remember you being very fascinated with my spreadsheet-based approch to writing songs.
Yes.
That's the only rational response to hearing about the spreadsheet approach to songwriting.
Truly, I remember looking at you and thinking, like, this is an alien. I've heard of songwriters out here that do this, but I've never met one or shaken their hand.
Well, Spence, do you want to do a little icebreaker question with us?
I think this ice needs breaking. Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We actually asked each other this a second ago. This question is from Paul. If you wrote a musical, what would it be about?
Good question. Well, this is very hypothetical because I'm definitely not working on anything like this for the next project. But if in that weird world I was writing a musical, I would write it on the maybe vintage American West. I'm thinking like early 1900s.
Like a
The
cowboy.
Cowboys?
Well, I think we know where we were also talking about where we both land on the cowboy to vampire spectrum.
Terrific. Are those the two ends? We did confirm, by the way.
You can take that as established fact. Don't worry about that.
Sounds good.
It sounds like you would probably land somewhere on the cowboy spectrum.
There is no z-axis. There is just an x-axis. Yeah.
This is something that we asked everybody, Spence. What's your jam?
Okay.
What's a song or artist that you've been listening to recently that you just want to give a little shout out here to?
You know what? I got this locked and loaded. I would say there's a song by a lovely band, I believe they're British, called The Delegates. And they have a song called Watch It for the Weather, which is just like, it just belongs in any Sunday morning moving your booty kind of playlist.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to The Delegates or why I don't see them in stages across the world. But yeah, great song. Watch It for the Weather.
Very cool. We're going to add that to our Friends of Jam Mechanics playlist for people to go check out. Go find that on our Spotify page.
Please.
Amazing. Hey, Spence, I
Yes.
heard that you might have some challenges for us to help get our little Jam Mechanics experiment going here. Would you be
might.
willing to share that first challenge?
I would be willing. Absolutely. All right, gentlemen.
Okay, I'm getting ready to type.
The closest you have ever come to dying.
A little trauma for a Saturday morning.
Sure, a little Saturday morning tea.
Okay.
Okay.
So a couple things popped into my head. Fortunately, nothing immediate sprang to mind. I've had a couple of small things. I guess I'm fortunate to have not had this thing where I'm like, it's definitely this. It
For
was
sure.
this day.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple of things that spring to mind.
Okay.
Matt, do you anything for you kind of come to mind there?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a story. I've got a story that I
Okay.
can tell with that.
Well, let's get Spence's second prompt, and then we'll figure it out. What do you got for us for number 2?
All right, second prompt option. Just going to give you a quote. And the quote is, "The reason we're revoking your Nobel Prize, ...
We're revoking the Nobel Prize. So this is you did a good thing, but oops.
Oop, uh-oh,
Oops.
wait a minute.
Oops, fumbled
that
it
good?
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 options here. The closest you've ever come to dying. The one that came to mind for me, closest I've ever come to dying, is my dad and I were driving. I was in high school, and he was having to interview somebody on the phone. So he was in the passenger seat. I was driving. I was maybe like 18, and we were driving to Illinois. It was storming, like crazy downpour rain. We are on the freeway, 2-lane freeway. There's a semi truck right next to us. We're in the left lane, and all of a sudden, I start hydroplaning, and the truck genuinely goes full 45 degrees, like 60, 70 miles an hour, just sliding. It's ditch to my left, semi to the right, and somehow it just kind of corrects back, straight, and the tires re-engage on the ground, and we keep driving.
Oh my
But
gosh.
was fully out of control, Jesus, take the wheel. But don't do that, Jesus. Please don't.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's like Jesus took the wheel and slammed it to the left.
No, Jesus, you don't know how to drive, Jesus.
So Jesus never got his learner's permit and almost killed me on a freeway in Missouri. Matt, do you have a?
Yeah, I've got a story, but the thing is, I don't think I could make a song out of this story.
You could do anything, Matt. Believe in yourself.
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, I mean, also, I've got this, I love this story, and if I put it out there, I'm just like, well, now the story's told in podcast form.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for number 2, not just because we've only picked number 1 so far in this season of Jam Mechanics, but I think I don't have an idea for number 2. It just feels like I haven't written that kind of song this season yet. The reason we're revoking your Nobel Prize sounds like somewhere that would be interesting for me to go today. What do you think, Bug?
We might have our first disagreement.
no! Really?
Okay, so Here's my worry about revoking the Nobel Prize. There's right behind my eyes. What's that? It's a comedy song. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you like making things that don't sound like comedy songs. And if you get a comedy song prompt, you're just like, well, how do I twist this?
But you know what? On second thought, I'm defending an idea that I don't have. I have a story. I don't have an idea. What's a song about a car that hydroplanes for about 3 seconds? That's not really a song either. Maybe it is something where I jump into the thing that I don't have a clear path forward on. And to your point, we've never chosen prompt 2 yet on this season.
Okay.
I can do it.
Number 2?
Number 2. Let's do a number 2.
Wow.
Let's do a number 2. Let's finally...
Spence, this is the kind of humor that you're going to get on an episode of Jam Mechanics if you didn't know before you hopped on. That's our big zinger into the break.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling good about this.
Spence, hey, thanks for coming on and giving us a little entropy today to get our Jam Mechanics episode going. Do you have anything going on in your world that you want people to know, keeping in mind that this episode might be coming out at the end of June?
All right. Well, for all of you time travelers, I have an awesome tour at the beginning of June.
Amazing. I hope everybody came to it. I hope they had such a good time.
I would say, yeah, after June, I'm going to have a nice little string of some theatrical pop tunes that are going to be coming your way. So just get ready to get weird in your ears and hop on over to Spence Tunes and see what I got cooking on my side of this.
That's awesome. And anybody who came to any of our shows in June on the West Coast, you heard So You Want to Marry Daisy on our pre-show playlist. We play it at every show before the show starts. So if you were wondering, like, what's this song? It's great. That's Spence.
Sure. Awesome.
Cool.
We got 3 hours. Let's go do a number 2.
Friend in my 30s.
And we are back from the break. Welcome back to Jam Mechanics. This is Bug. We got Matt here. Matt, how was your Jam Mechanics?
Pretty good. I've gotten better about taking breaks because I get super exhausted generally after that first hour where I'm just trying to get my brain going. So I went and laid down. I watched someone play a run of Elden Ring where all of the monsters in the entire map are aggroed on you at the same time. Oh. So he was fighting.
That's why it was so quick.
It was I went and lied down for like 25 minutes and came back and the whole thing came together. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. What about you?
I feel pretty good too. This may have been the most fun that I've had doing a Jam Mechanics song.
Whatever?
I was having a very fun time making this song and thinking of things. I was like in a very creative kind of like, this is ridiculous, but I had a lot of fun. But we're gonna go with you first.
Okay.
What's your preface, Matt? What do you got?
So I have been thinking since we did our last episode about how much I like the vocal melody in the song that you did. And then about an hour and a half into recording this or writing this, I was like, did I love that melody too much?
Did you hug it too tight?
Yeah, I had to go back and listen to the song that you recorded last time, and I'm like, no, this would pass the vibe check in court. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it ever comes to that.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with this one.
Preface, plot point. What's the mood? What's the vibe? Where were you at?
Well, if you remember what our prompt was we're going to have to revoke your Nobel Prize because, but also I'd been thinking about the other prompt a lot, and also I just been, I feel like when you listen to this song, you're just going to hear a big old soup of thoughts.
Okay, sounds great, Matt. I think both of us might have done that a little bit.
Okay, let's. I'm gonna hit go on these lyrics, and then you can just hit go on the song when you're ready.
All right, I am gonna hit go on a song called "Peak at the Ending."
Yeah,
"Peak at the Ending" sounds great to me, and I'm gonna hit go in 3, 2, 1, go.
So listen, we've been talking, this machine that you've been building's got a problem that we couldn't foresee. I guess we all sometimes get blinded by the miracles of science, but this time we should have looked before we leaped. And we're not saying you're not gifted or that you didn't deserve it, this award that's sitting on your desk. But it's bad for the brand to be attached to the man who found a way to predict everyone's death. What do you mean I'll hydroplane on the highway, skid and careen into a Toyota Camry? Why would you say that when I'm trying to help you? That's pretty fucked up, man, I don't know what to tell you. Would you wanna know how you're gonna go? If you like to peek at the ending, wait before time, let me recommend my machine. It's still in beta and the patent is pending. Check the whiteboard, cause I've been workshopping a name. Death thing. You know what? No wrong answers. No wrong answers. Hello, sir, are you the creator of the thingamabob that everybody's talking about? You know the whatchamacallit, the thing that fits in your pocket, the deathalizer, why are you writing that down? Well, it seems like the readings that it's reeling out are really not quite as accurate as you make them sound. Everyone in the city got the same exact reading, now everybody's trying to leave town. What do you mean evaporate in a bomb blast, become a shadow and a pile of pure ash? Why would it say that I'm trying to help you? That's pretty fucked up, man, I don't know what to tell you. Would you wanna know how you're gonna go? If you like to peek at the ending, wait before time, let me recommend my machine. It's still in beta and the patent is pending. Check the whiteboard, cause I've been workshopping a name. Doom knower, demise device, the fate matrix. You know what? I would love to hire a marketing team to do this, but I have lost like all of my funding recently.
It's not a season of Jam Mechanics without ending a song on a nuclear bomb going off.
You know what? It's, you know, if that's going to become a stereotype that I'm known for, it's just like, I don't know how to end this song. I'm just going to end with an explosion.
No, it's good.
But it's great when a song feels like it needs a third verse, but I'm like, the narrative demands that it does not have a third verse.
You deserved to take that third verse off because you set it up. You put in the work. You were allowed to do it. It wasn't out of nowhere. No, this is very fun. I want to talk about the lyrics of this. I love that you put my little hydroplane story in there. That was very good. I liked that a lot. I feel like I made it. I feel like I got like a cameo in that song, which is very cool. I loved the kind of the running format of naming the device. I think that was very clever. I liked how you put it in the kind of intro to the second verse, but then you also kind of then alluded back to it immediately with the, you know, the whatchamacallit, the thing that fits in your pocket, the deathalizer, why are you writing that down? Just very good. It's a very like scene setting. What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts were this was really fun. The bit about the creator of this machine being so focused on what it's going to be called, I have no idea where that bit came from. But it made me laugh in the same way as I'm God, you're not, that sucks for you. I'm like, God damn it. Okay, well, if it makes me laugh, it needs to go in. That's the rule.
Yeah, this feels like a spiritual sequel to that one. And just kind of the maybe it's just the vibe. Maybe just kind of like it's got these kind of like...
Well, the chorus has got that same kind of galloping down. Yeah.
The verses are very expository in a way that Accident was also, you know, and then kind of hitting the chorus.
Plus it ends with an explosion.
Yep. The car crash, the nuclear bomb.
One day I'm going to be able to have my own little EP of songs that end with explosions. So yeah, no, I had a blast with this. So yeah, that's my song. Let's hear your song.
You want to hear my song?
I want to hear your song.
In the same way that you took something we talked about in the intro, I also did not let the prompt be the only thing that found its way into my song.
Okay.
And by found its way into my song, I mean entirely set the premise of my song. So it's in here.
What's a prompt at the end of the day?
And one thing I did with this song was the first thing I normally do when we hang up the call in the first half is I grab either my ukulele off the wall, I grab my guitar off the wall, and I'll start just kind of like strumming on something. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna attack this one differently. I'm gonna open up Logic, and I didn't pull down an instrument at all for any of this. I used purely loops. I just found loops that I liked, and I just
like pre-existing loops,
and I put them together. And I Googled, can you use loops for songs? And it's like not copyright, and the answer is like, yeah, it's totally fine.
You know what? I was listening today to a little video essay about Gautier. You remember the somebody that I used to know, and I didn't realize that his thing was just all sampling. Like he was like his thing was like, if I need to pick up an instrument at any point, I've screwed up. And like so that song and everything he put out is like 90% samples that he's taken from other songs. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm the Gautier of jam mechanics for this particular episode. I just wanted to mix it up. I wanted to have a different sound for this one.
I am drooling with anticipation.
Amazing.
Wish I'd found a better word, but that's what I've said now.
It's good. It's a good one. My song is called Dynamite.
Okay, I'm ready to light up this club. On a 1, 2, 3, go. Oh shit.
There's gold in them there hills, get your shovels and dig. We're sitting on a jackpot, that'll make us all rich. If we just stick to our lot and never give up our spot, we can give our kids lives not a one of us got. Pack it once, check it twice, pack it in, pack it tight. Light the fuse, time to move, hit the boom. But boys, we got company. They only come out at night, leave no trace on the dead, but a couple of bites. There's no telling where they come from or got here or why. And now they're swarming the hills, but they were never invited. And our minds are getting drained while we sleep in our tents. If we send out a scout, we never see him again. They won't duel us at noon or try to fight us like men, but they don't like the sun, so we'll bring it to them. Pack it once, check it twice, pack it in, pack it tight. Like the fuse, time to move, hit the boom. Well, I'll be damned, looks like we found a weak spot, guys. I guess their fangs don't work when their brains get fried. I might have guessed that fact, now they're the ones surprised as we scatter the bats before the sun can rise. But they ain't dead yet, I guess technically they're undead, yes. But you get what I am setting, there's a few left yet, and our side is still dwindling. We've 2 lost friends, some of the best damn cowboys you'd ever met. I've got one last stick that I've yet to light. I gotta bait the rest out, hit the timing just right, cause our guns don't work, devil knows we've tried. Here they come, here's my shot, here's your Nobel Prize.
I think we just got Lin-Manuel Miranda'd. Yeah, we got a little cowboys versus vampires anthem on our hands. Wait. I was going to say, yeah, here they come. Here's my shot. Here's your Nobel Prize. Bit anachronistic. I don't give a shit. That song bangs. That was so good. I love it.
Thank you.
Your songwriting is like, you're really pushing yourself creatively on this season and just a lot in the last few months, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. This was when I kind of had like the I wanted, so obviously what's his name Nobel invented dynamite, and so I was like,
oh fuck you.
Got him. That was the connection there. And so as soon as I had Dynamite and I had that little guitar, that slide guitar sample that I found at the beginning, as soon as I had that, I was like, okay. Instantly was like, this is a Western song. And then obviously my brain was like, we just talked about cowboys and vampires, right? So it was like, what if I write a song about a bunch of cowboys mining the gold in like the West, and their camp gets overrun with vampires who are competing with them for the gold, and they have to settle it with Dynamite.
I really, really liked... well, I'll be damned. Looks like we found a weak spot, guys. I guess their fangs don't work when their brains get fried.
Yeah.
So good.
That was the one line that felt like I was channeling you a little bit. Like there's something about that kind of hit my, like, Matt. I hear that coming out of Matt more than me, but I really liked it a lot.
Oh, this is wonderful. So this brings up an interesting conversation.
Okay.
The conversation about production, and we are two people who are potentially to a fault self-producers. It's like if someone else wants to come in and get their sticky mitts all over my production work, they're going to have to break into my house and kill me and get the password to my computer. And that is, for me, that is coming from a place of finding it difficult to work in that workflow with another human being, to explain what I mean, to trust somebody else, to trust my instincts. So like, I don't trust you to trust my instincts.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the only time that I've ever handed over the reins of anything that I've released was Artist for Amateurs.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's the only song that I've ever not like taken from idea to complete song, kind of on my own. I've had people mix things in the past. The rough draft I had mixed at a studio and mastered at a studio, and Artist for Amateurs is the only thing where I was like, "Hey, here's my song. You open up your DAW." Which is a digital audio workstation for anybody who doesn't know. It's like something like Logic or Reaper or Cubase or whatever software people use to make music. You open a fresh DAW and you arrange it, figure out what the instruments are, get the beat down. And I walked away from that loving it. I loved not having to do all those steps. And obviously you did a very good job with that song. And you made it into something cooler than I was going to make it into. So there was that bit of it where I was like, maybe I don't have to do everything myself all the time. Even if it didn't end up sounding like the thing I had heard in my head when I wrote the song. It was cooler. It was better. It was like bigger than the sum of its parts. So I loved that.
Another part of the anxiety about getting other people in to do production work. I'm going to, as a musician, probably go through periods where I have a fair bit of disposable income. And I'm going to go through periods where I don't have a fair bit of disposable income. And if I invest in like a producer and a professional recording studio for one album when I have money, people are going to come to expect that. And I'm trying to think of the long game here. I want to be making things that sound and feel consistent, no matter where I'm at in my career. And I don't want to have my albums be like home album, and then like AAA studio album, and then like home album. I'd rather it just all kind of sound like it's coming from the same place.
Yeah. So here's what I found just in my own kind of career. I have 4 albums. If you look at my top 5 songs right now, I believe it's Disco in the Panic Room was in a studio. Dear McCracken, In My Closet. Be Glad I Love You, In My Closet. Too Bad.
Be Glad I Love You in My Closet.
Sounds weird
Perfect.
when I say Be Glad I Love You in My Closet. Too Bad, Too Bath and a Ghost in My Closet. And I think Making Up Words might be the other one.
Making Up Words in My Closet. Yeah, these are all...
That is actually how I did all of my albums before the rough draft. So, it's not like you can't be successful unless you go to a studio and record these things. If you're looking at, Matt and mine's music, most of my music, and I think all of your music, has just been recorded in our home studios. And I haven't seen an appreciable difference in like the boost or popularity that things get because they were done more professionally, quote unquote. And obviously everything we do here on Jam Mechanics, while demos are just kind of proof of concepts of what you can get done in a home studio in 3 hours or less.
Yeah.
Good job, us.
Yeah, no such thing as a bad episode of Jam Mechanics.
No, I feel really good about this one. I think we both had a lot of fun with these. I think it's one of the times that we both got silly at the same time. I think we have, just by kind of coincidence, happenstance, whatever it is, when one of us, bobs, the other one weaves, and you'll do something kind of more dramatic, I'll do something silly. And this one, I think we both were just like, hey, it's time to write a fun song today.
Exactly. And this is the last episode we record before we go on tour.
If you're listening to this on release day, you missed the West Coast tour, or you came to the West Coast tour. I'm glad to have you there. We still have some more shows coming up. It's not a Jam Mechanics tour, but it is a Bug Hunter and the Narcissist Cookbook tour. So both of us are going to be taking our original music on the road as a co-headlining act, upcoming still in August and September. We're going to be in cities like Chicago, Dallas, Orlando, Boston, DC, Nashville. If you're kind of anywhere within the bounds of those cities, definitely check the dates at www.bughunterbug.com. We would love to see you at a show. Other than that, if you want to give us any feedback on these songs or this episode, you can email us at hello@jammechanics.com, or individually, if you want to talk shit behind the other one's back, we got bug@jammechanics.com or tnc@jammechanics.com.
Thank you for all of the mean emails about me that you've been sending to me. You've got it wrong. You have to send the mean emails about me to Bug, and the mean emails about Bug to me.
Yes.
This feels targeted.
But if you want to talk shit to both of our faces, we have a Discord. You can join that. The Discord link should be in the description. And you can get in there. We do a live listen along to all the episodes when they drop, at the moment they drop on Monday mornings. So if you want to come along and just be with us as we premiere new episodes, you can come do that.
That's it. But you gotta play us out. You gotta uninvite those vampires with the power of music.
If you want to know how to write a song, I'll show you how, boy. Just do it just like this. Write a song about vampires and cowboys.
There we go. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
I just thought of that.
They always told me I was speaking too early. Your lack of buddies is a little concerning. You heard the rumors, now I'm hearing confirming. I made a friend in my 30s.